Alright, welcome to the video. Ever wondered what kind of jobs people get when they've served their time in prison? Well, CNN found that at least 12 Uber drivers actually have been convicted of felonies or DUI, or they were driving on suspended licenses. And further research, actually, CNN found that thousands of drivers actually had disqualifying criminal records or sexual offenders. So that's just one of the examples of what you can do out of prison. And in no particular order, I've compiled a list of jobs that criminals can get when they get out of jail. Quick disclaimer here. Working in these fields does not mean that one is a criminal or an ex-convict. It just means that some criminals or ex-convicts get jobs in these fields. So starting off with one of the most common, the labor jobs. So labor jobs are physical jobs that require minimal skills, especially in like construction, where it requires it's very physically demanding, and it's got high turnover, or like painting or cleaning, moving, and so on. Another field that's relatively popular among ex-convicts or criminals are the trades jobs. So this actually does require some or advanced training and skills by going through a trade school or a certification program to be able to practice the trades. So these are some of the examples out there. And the third field that is pretty popular and that we've definitely seen a lot of are delivery jobs. So delivery jobs is where you're just delivering items or people from one place to another. And depending on what kind of vehicle you're using, you will need a driver's license or a truck driving license. And you're not even required to have your own vehicle at most times. So one of the most popular is the food delivery. I'm sure people use that a lot these days. Definitely super popular in North America. And another delivery is actually ride sharing or taxi. So I thought I looked into this a little further and found that Uber and Uber Eats background check, actually, it says your criminal record must meet these conditions, and they actually say that some non-violent felony convictions may actually be accepted. So it is very possible to become an Uber or Uber Eats driver and pass the background check if you have some non-violent felony convictions, because they may be accepted. And I actually found this directly from the Uber website. I can put the link in the description here. And their criminal background check says that some types of criminal convictions will result in disqualification. I mean, some, it's not all. So that means some types of criminal convictions will actually still get you qualified to become an Uber driver. So it's great that they're actually providing opportunities for people who have served their time in prison. This is the same with Lyft. The whole thing pretty much says that Lyft, you may be ineligible. You may be ineligible. So it's pretty vague. It means even if you are convicted of some of these crimes, you may be ineligible. But that also means that even if you do have these crimes, you may be eligible. So Uber and Lyft just kind of providing opportunities for our criminals or ex-convicts to contribute to the society. And perhaps this is why CNN found thousands of drivers who had disqualifying criminal records or were sexual offenders. But yeah, as long as they're delivering, getting their job done, right? So another delivery job here is a truck driver. So as long as you have a truck driving license, this is one of the fields that people out of prison can also explore. Another field here is the military, and you might be a little surprised. You're like, really? Like, convicts can be in the military? Well, military means, to define it, it means to participate in or to support military operations. So I've actually gone out of my way to look at the Code of Federal Regulations of the United States Army and the National Defense. That's Title 32, and Part 66 actually states the qualification standards for enlistment, appointment, and induction into the armed forces. So what does it say here? Section 8, so 66.8, it actually states that as a minimum, an applicant will be considered ineligible if they, point number 2 says, if he or she has a significant criminal record. So this means that it's a significant criminal record. So if it's not a significant record, if it's a minor record, you may actually still be considered eligible. And even if one does have a significant criminal record, you have to finish reading the entire paragraph. One of the articles actually prohibits any person who has been convicted of felony from being enlisted in the military services. However, that's an important however, because the exact same condition actually authorizes a waiver in certain cases. What does that mean? It means persons convicted of felonies may request a waiver to permit their enlistment. So just because you have a criminal record or have a significant criminal record, it doesn't mean you're completely out of the game. You can actually submit this thing called a felony waiver, and you can read more about it to get yourself enlisted and be reviewed on there. Because, I mean, it seems like the military has quite a few benefits to it. So that brings us to the fifth job or career that people can explore is the entrepreneurship. And I guess there's different types of entrepreneurs. And entrepreneurship, it sounds like a big word, but it just means to organize and operate your own business, so to become your own business owner. And I mean, some articles, according to the CNBC and Business Insider, says that because there's high unemployment rate and it's difficult to find jobs for people that come out of prison, because there's very few companies that are willing to overlook or provide second chances to these people, that some of them actually consider starting their own businesses. And here's some examples. Well, these are called the prison bars, and they were actually, I guess they were based out of San Francisco, and these were created in a prison kitchen by testing out different ingredients. You can read more about it. Feel free to pause the video. Here's another one, an individual named Kos Marte, and here's a little story about it. And this person started a company called Con Body, and they're a gym based out of New York City, and looks like at this point they have 5 stars on their 98 Google reviews. So yeah, some people go on to start their own successful businesses. So these are some of the jobs that criminals can get when they come out of jail. And there are also a lot of companies out there. You can go to this website called Prison Fellowship, and then check out some of the companies that are actually in business of giving second chances. So, well, I'm Professor Job Offer, and yeah, here to help you land your next job. Thanks for watching.